Good morning, everyone. This is Rakesh Pandey from Siemens Digital Industry Software. And what I'm going to talk today is more about, how even electric vehicle manufacturers, can leverage the power of digitalization and how the digital twin of product of your plant and utilization can be done also for electric vehicles. That is the session, which I'll be talking about in today's session. So before I start, people talk about digital twin, but what is exactly digital twin and why it is very important? So if you see a physical asset, right, as such, it does have information, but if you talk about the replica of that physical world, the digital twin has much more information which is embedded into it, right from the failure mode effective analysis, right from your 1D models, the 3D models, the layouts of plant, which will be associated, with that particular product or system, and much more information, which is there, But what we can also get from physical asset is the real time and the operational data, and which can help further to enhance and rectify all the issues, which might be there in the digital version of the product. So today's agenda will be basically, what I will be covering across. I will be touching upon the digital product twin, wherein I will be touching upon, how you do a product modeling in case of an electric vehicle, and how you ensure that your mechanical and the electrical parts are very much in sync. The second important aspect, which is very much important in electric vehicle, is the simulation. And in our last session of ET Auto last week, we saw how simulation plays a much bigger role while doing the electric vehicle design and the virtual product. The third is a lot of embedded software goes into a vehicle, whether it is IC engine or electric vehicle. So how can you manage which binary has gone into which version of your product or which version of your vehicle is done through application lifecycle management? PLM will be the last part in this virtual product or the digital product twin part. It's a vast subject in itself, but I will be just touching upon that, how it will also help to collate and bring all the information with the mechanical, electrical software and the workflows, the change management process, all stitched in one another. So the second part which I'll be talking about is the digital plant twin, wherein I'll show across how you can do the process simulation and the robotic simulation, and not only that with human and robots, but you can do the entire electric vehicle plant much before even laying down the first stone for that particular plant. The third aspect will be the manufacturing execution system, wherein the real manufacturing will happen, and therein upon I will touch upon advanced planning and scheduling, manufacturing execution system, quality management system, and the manufacturing intelligence, which is more of dashboards, which should be available not only for the supervisors, but for the mid-level managers and the senior managers. The last and important aspect will be IoT, which is a buzzword, which is going across the industry at present. And I also touch upon, what engineering services, we offer from Siemens, especially for the electric vehicle startups or even for the mature companies. So this is what overall I will be covering across in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And what I've done is that, I've taken an example of a real-time electric vehicle from one of our customers, Unity, from Sweden, so that, the audience can get a feel of that. So let's talk about virtual world, or virtual product. Now, when we talk about that, what we do is how we do the design, how we simulate, how we do a virtual verification and validation of that, whether it is the mechanical or mechatronics components or electrical components, so that we have to do much less physical prototype. And remember, physical prototypes are costly, right? So let's see, so we'll go one by one on the product. If you see on the left-hand side, we're talking about the digital product. We are in the design section. So the first part is that how can you do the product modeling? How you can put the concept, how you can ensure that, how the virtual product can be built upfront, and multiple alternatives of that particular product, whether it is a vehicle or an electric powertrain or an electric motor, can be done upfront using NX as a platform. And it helps the company to not only visualize, but also see how this particular vehicle will behave in the real world. The second part is of temporalization, wherein a lot of companies, while they are working, they will gather those tacit and explicit knowledge. How can you put that into your design, and how can you ensure that kind of a checklist is built in so that your designer never goes wrong? So those are also possible, while doing your product modeling of that particular vehicle. The third part which I wanted to touch upon in design section is your integrated simulation and manufacturing. So it's not only, you do the design, but what about, if there is any issue in the simulation. So this CAD and the simulation should be very tightly integrated so that if you find any error in simulation, you can immediately come to your CAD tool and rectify it again and check, what is the behavior. And this becomes more important in case of flexible components as such. So that's another advantage of, working in the digital design tool. And the last part which I want to say or talk about is that how ready as a company you are, for additive manufacturing. Because if you have to speed up or if you have to reduce your time to market, can you do a quick prototype? Can you leverage the power of additive manufacturing? How capable is your design to do that can also be done through this particular aspect of design. The second part, the second thing in the digital product is your simulation. Very much before even what I was showing you in the previous slide, much before your 3D model, how can you use mathematical model or 1D simulation to validate your entire vehicle, to also do a pre-sizing of your vehicle, what mileage it will have, what should be the weight of that particular vehicle. And if you are going at a system level, how can you do that even for the battery, with predefined components, predefined, libraries, which will have all these systems and subsystems. So designer doesn't have to start from scratch. And this will help, prior to 3D modeling, do all those verification and validation upfront and save a lot of time for the design engineer. What comes across is your really 3D simulation, wherein you will validate whatever has been done is really, as per the design parameters, and it is really, you will be able to manufacture in the real world. The third aspect, which is very important again is how can you ensure that, all those noise, vibration, harness, and all those aerodynamic properties of the vehicle are still ensured, and that you can do it very well through computational fluid dynamics, or CFD, and in our case, the tool is known as STAR CCM. While you are doing all this, how can you ensure that, multiple designs are possible? How can you ensure a normal design engineer or a simulation engineer can work with, 3 or 4 or 5 constraints, but how you can ensure that in the shortest time, you can get n number of drawings, which are matching different constraints. So you can choose the best or the best optimized design for yourself and then start working on that. So that can be done through the design exploration, which we have studied in our engineering days. And the tool here is HEATS, which generally the electric vehicle manufacturing companies use it, to get the most optimized motor or most optimized battery, for their vehicle. So moving from simulation, or rather, continuing on the simulation, what we are going to do is that what I'm going to show in the next slide is what I talked about was for the overall vehicle architecture. But what if you want to do it for the battery? How you want to do the cell chemistry? Can you simulate that? Yes, very well, you can do that. If you are a company which is not into battery designing or manufacturing, you are just doing your packaging, still you can simulate the entire stuff. How you can ensure that, that is very much integrated with your electric driveline. How you can predict what will be the aging effects on the battery because of the vehicle weight or because of the temperature, outside temperature. So the entire battery management studio will help you doing that, And apart from that, how you can ensure that your cooling and the thermal management of the battery is ensured, because that's an important aspect. If the temperature is not between 15 to 22 or 24 degrees centigrades, your battery can degrade very fast. So how you can ensure that optimum cooling is provided to your cells inside your pack. So that also very well can be done. And then of course, whatever you have done, you can experiment, you can test that and take those parameters back to ensure that, you feed back to the designers to improve upon that particular battery. So that was about the system, which is battery, which is one of the important systems. But if you are doing it again at the vehicle level, you need to do a simulation to ensure that, your energy management for the overall vehicle is intact, your drivability, because passengers will buy the vehicle seeing the comfort, all your vehicle dynamics is into place, and plus, your whole testing, or what you can call the safety, whether it is a passive safety or active safety, is completely put into place. And that all can be done upfront in the virtual environment. and then can later be tested in the physical environment and validated against the theoretical and the practical results. And then another aspect in case of electric vehicle is your noise, vibration, and harness and acoustics. And why that is important, because in case of IC engine, all the road noise, everything is masked, because of the IC engine noise. But in case of electric vehicles, those noise, since there is no noise from IC engines, as such, the wind noise, the rear view mirror noise, wind flowing through that, and all those becomes very much audible to the passengers inside. So how you can ensure that, the NVH is at a very comfortable level. And apart from that, electric vehicles are very silent. So how you can ensure that you induce a noise which should not be irritating to the pedestrian, but at least at the crossing, it can tell the pedestrian, hey, there is a car, which is there. And of course, all the aerodynamics, the water management, the strength and durability, and of course, the entire autonomous driving, right from level 0 to level 5, can also, be simulated, and it can help vehicle to arrive at that driving. Then another important aspect which I was talking, so apart from the simulation, let's move now to the application lifecycle management. And as I was talking in the introduction part, the agenda part, a lot of embedded software, a lot of millions of lines of code goes into a vehicle today. And if you see any other vehicle, which is there in the on the road, whether it is Kia Seltos or MG Hector or any other, they say it's an internet car. Everything can be managed, through your phone, and everything can be electronically changed. Whether it's your driving seat arrangement or other stuff. So what happens is that how you can ensure your entire software lifecycle management, right from your software requirement, how your build, how your use cases for that software, how the binary, the codes which has been written, what was the test cases written against that, everything is managed. And if there is any change, how that change is also recorded, so that at any point of time, there is a forward traceability right from requirement to the binary code, and backward also from the binary code for which requirement this particular code has been written across. So that brings a complete traceability through this application lifecycle management tool, which is in our case Polarium, which is very easily installed, and it can be just, you can start using it across. And since this is primarily meant for managing your software, embedded software which goes into your vehicle, so it has its own project management, which can be your Agile or Scrum. It can follow SDLC lifecycle, and it has its own dashboards, which are required, in case of your software tools, to manage your software binary codes. And the last and important part is whatever you have done in your design, whether it is mechanical, electrical, your mechatronics, whether it is your software bill of material or software requirement, everything has to be managed on one integrated PLM platform, so that whether it is the design head or the production manager, they can see the entire vehicle in totality, whether the requirement is for the entire vehicle or it is for the bill of material. So as a product manager or R&D head, I can see my mechanical bill of material, the electrical bill of material, and also the software bill of material and the mechatronics. So I get a holistic view of the entire vehicle. Plus, PLM also manages your change management. It has inbuilt a lot of project management templates, dashboards, which any particular electric vehicle company can start right up front using it across. They can templatize their particular project which has been successful, so that next time onwards they can follow that particular process. So that's all about, in a nutshell, about the digital product. Now let's move to the next digital part, which is your digital product twin or the digital production twin. So what are we going to see in this is that how are you going to simulate your entire plant, and ensure that there is no bottleneck upfront, within the virtual world. So how we do it across is first we can do the entire design layout for the line, and we can virtually validate it across if there is any bottleneck or how the line has to be arranged or has to be optimized. That can be done upfront. We can simulate the working of both humans and robots, so that how the human will behave on that particular workstation, what are the tools which will be there, what are the operations which he or she will be doing it across, and if it is a robot, what will be the safety or safety of the boundary conditions. That all can be virtually simulated and done upfront. Now apart from that, we also help, or when we talk of the digital world, you can also do your electronic work instruction. And how it benefits is that whatever the design engineer, if she has done any modification, that design is also upfront published. The entire instruction, how to assemble, what is the torque which has to be put, which are the tools to be used, is displayed upfront in a screen, which the operator can use it across for his or her convenience. So the chances of error is very less. And then, of course, the entire plant can be done. The entire plant can be simulated. Unity, so the entire plant, if you see across how the vehicles will be moving across and which station the glass are getting fixed, which station the electric powertrain will be fixed across, can all be simulated upfront, to see across. So what we're talking about, not only the upfront line design, but also how the human and robot performance can be done. The work instruction can be electronically published on that particular station on which the operator is going to perform. And then the overall plant layout, how it is going to work and which cells will be performing what activities can be done upfront. So that's how you do your production planning part. Let's come also to the virtual part of how you can do your production engineering, And when I say engineering, how you can ensure that, through our totally integrated automation, how you can ensure that all your PLCs and all your SCADAs, whichever programs which you have written, how that all can be managed through a single portal. How you can also validate, how you can use your hardware in loop and software in loop to virtually validate, whatever you have designed and on the programs whichever you have written is correct. Then you can also ensure upfront that yes, your production is ready for additive manufacturing in case you are using additive manufacturing for doing a proto or for some of the components, you can very well do that. And all this is done in a very secured environment. So at any point of time, there is no data leakage or there is a complete data production which is there. So that is ensured, so all your programmable logic control, all your programs can be upfront seen, pushed into the machine, validated and verified, and before it is put into the real machine. So next comes, your real part, wherein, so what we were talking about was the virtual product and the virtual production or the virtual plant. Now comes when the rubber meets the road, right? What happens when you are going for the real production? So when you go for a real production, even prior to real production, you will do your advanced planning and scheduling. And when I say planning, it is a long-term, 6 months, 1 year down the lane. What are you going to do? From which particular plant you are going to do? What quantity you are going to produce? Whereas when I say scheduling, it is very short term. It is seconds, minutes, hours. What are your worker and what your supervisor is going to do on that particular station. So that is what is part of advanced planning and scheduling, which is again, all this what you are seeing, advanced planning and scheduling, MES, QMS, and your manufacturing intelligence is overall part of your MOM portfolio. And when I say manufacturing execution system, this is the place wherein your real production starts happening. So the operator can see, the supervisor can assign, this is a job and this is the operator on this particular station, he has to perform that. All your purchase orders from SAP gets broken down into work orders, and that is then executed by your operators across. And at any point of time, you can see what is the overall equipment effectiveness, how the resources are loaded, and all the, if there is any failure, you can very well see that also, that all gets recorded. Another important part in quality management system is not only the product quality, but also the process quality. So as an electric vehicle manufacturer, you need to ensure that your products are right for the first time, first time right. So how you can do that, so we have completely embedded your Deming cycle of plan, do, check, act. So all your IPQP process, all your PPAP process, your audits, your risk managements like DFMEA, connected PFMEA, and your PCP is also embedded into that particular tool. So that, you ensure that, your product and process quality, are adhering to what you are defined or designed. Now, apart from that, how you can ensure that, first of all, how you can define the KPIs for manufacturing and then ensure that your plant, that particular plant or the station is meeting that, that KPIs. So all those dashboards, irrespective of which MES you're using, this is a layer which puts across a dashboard, and you can configure dashboard based on your company's hierarchy level. and it will upfront show you all across. So there are companies which have a single dashboard and they monitor all their plants across different geographies through this particular tools. So that was about, okay, before I move to that, so what happens, so if you see in this world, all the digital production and the real production, the real products are all connected. So what you get is the insights from the real product, and what you do in your virtual product is you do an improvements. So that becomes a continuous improvement cycle, which you can see in the left. Now let's move to, okay, so what is all this concept based on? So this all concept is based on MES or MISA standards, which is ISA 95 standards. So what it talks about is level 0 is wherein your actual production is happening, whereas level 1 and level 2 are where your PLCs or the SCADAs are there, which are monitoring, your day-to-day operations. Level 3 is where your manufacturing execution system sits, and this is the place wherein you are working in shifts, hours, minutes, and seconds. Whereas level 4 is the highest level, wherein your entire enterprise business planning or your logistics happens, and this is a place wherein your ERP of the worlds and the PLMs of the worlds are there, or play a part. And how, if you see the entire stuff is playing a role. So if you see in the left-hand side, the PLM manages all your design, your simulation, your manufacturing engineering, your service lifecycle management, and that is connected, or that data is managed, by Teamcenter, which is a PLM application. And that data again gets collaborated with your manufacturing operation management, wherein you can do your MES, you can have your complete quality management system, you can do your planning and scheduling, and of course, all the intelligence of the KPIs and the dashboards, and which again then is integrated with your automation layer or the field layer and also the devices. So that is how everything is integrated into one enterprise architecture. So what is the benefit of having this, for an EV? So if you have a PLM wherein you can do your complete upfront digital product and the plant planning, and you have complete automation portfolio and MES portfolio, which integrates both the upstream PLM and the downstream automation layer. What happens is, as per Aberdeen, you get a higher overall equipment effectiveness. Your NPI rate, your new product introduction rate, is much higher, much successful. Your operating margin is again much higher than your planned ones. You decrease your number of change orders, and your rework also gets reduced a lot. And then you are able to meet your targets, which you have specified for your launch of the product. So the last aspect is about services, wherein I'm going to talk about our IoT platform, which is for automotive, and then also whatever we have talked in all the digital part, how can a company speed up? So as Siemens, we also provide engineering services to help electrical vehicle companies to move across fast, on this digital value chain. And the reason we do that is, you need to have a domain knowledge. You also need to have tool knowledge, and then only you can start leveraging the power of digitalization. So let's see. This is a very small example, which we worked for our customer called the Connected Engineering Company, and this is known as Oli app, wherein we have built this particular app through our platform called Mendix, which is a low-code platform. So wherein I can see at any point of time how many fleets, how many vehicles, electric vehicles, which are flying on the road or running on the road. What is the route? If there is any deviation, how is the battery consumption happening? What was the requirement? If there is any issues, that is also logged upfront for that particular variant or that particular VIN number. And then I can go deep down and I can do an analysis, what the problem is. If there's a problem in this case, which is because of a brake. So why the brake is getting heated, I can go directly from that into the simulation of the design component and make the changes or see, which portion is getting heated and change my design or my drawing accordingly across. So this particular app helps it across, to do that. And this whole can be hosted on our IoT platform, which is a cloud-based, open architecture system on which this can be done. And the last part, which I was mentioning about, is how a company can speed up their digital journey. So digital transformation cannot be achieved through either design or simulation alone. There is a lot of multidisciplinary things across, or involved. So one is design, of course. Second is in simulation. In that also you have 1D, you have 3D, you have design exploration, you have CFD. So how you can ensure that all is there, and then your physical testing also. So how you can ensure that you get the industry best practices and know-how, which is very much a key to the success of your product launch. So as Siemens, what we do is we have presence worldwide, and also our engagement model is that we go to the customers, we see maturity, we do a maturity assessment, and then we help them develop that particular technology on our tool, and then we also do a transfer of that. So we have across the world, a lot of engineers who come with automotive domain experience, electric vehicle domains experience, and these are primarily based all across Europe, US, and Asia. In India, we have a big base in Chennai who help our customers to do that. And it is both for overseas customers who have a design base in India, as well as for the Indian customers. And these are some of the areas in which we can help across, whether it is noise and vibration, durability, your fuel economy, or your battery, or your complete CFD process, your hardware in loop, your software in loop, and the complete V-cycle as per the INCOS or IEC 15288 standards of system engineering. So this is what I had covered in my last session at ET Auto, but just to let you know across, we can help, or we can provide engineering services right at the system or the component level, whether it is your design or manufacturing, whether it is cell chemistry, packaging, or even for your charging station, high-speed charging stations. And then we can also help you at defining and designing your complete electric powertrain, whether it is motor, inverter, or converters. And then, of course, your complete electrical architecture, because in case of electric cars, it becomes more complicated because you have multiple voltage carrying cables. Plus, apart from battery and electric powertrain, the wires are again one which adds to the weight. Plus, these wires have copper content, which is again a costly material. How can you reduce that? So we can help you at component level at this at the three parameters, battery design, electric powertrain, and electrical. Whereas at the vehicle level, we can help you on your complete power control systems. We can help you do an attribute optimization for your vehicle. So how can you do a complete energy management, thermal management, acoustic at your vehicle level, plus aerodynamics, so that your fuel efficiency or your battery capacity or per mileage capacity also increases or enhanced. And then also complete vehicle engineering, wherein we can help you do a lot of light weighting, either using composites or reducing the weight, overall weight of the vehicle, or the different systems which goes into an electric vehicle, and plus the occupant safety, both active and passive safety. So that's overall, what we can do from engineering services. And to summarize, this all twin, whether it is virtual production or real production, and the real product, what it helps across is brings you the complete insight from your real physical world back to your virtual world, and also ensures that whatever you have designed, the real product is really behaving or performing as designed, and also brings a continuous improvement through the closed looping the entire cycle, of this 3 digital twin. So that's all from my side. Thank you for listening to me.